Hello again and welcome to the last video on the review series. Remember, these videos were made in order to help you review the grammar topics for the final exam, since we couldn't do it in the classroom. But anyways, let's look at the last topic. And we have the present perfect versus the simple past. No, don't worry. Even though the word versus appears there, there's no actual fight between the present perfect and the simple past. Okay? It is not punching. Don't worry. Now, I'm sorry for the bad joke. Twice in the past. The present perfect versus the simple past expresses the things we have done and when was the last time we did them. Remember, the present perfect refers to actions that happened in the past. Okay? Those actions are considered as finished actions in the present, and their main characteristic is that they do not have a time expression. Hence, we consider them as the indefinite past. But the simple past actions actually refer to, we use the simple past to refer to actions that happened in the past, and we decide or we mention when they exactly happen. That is the main difference. Well, the other difference is the use of verbs, but look at this. Just remember, the simple past uses the past tense verbs, while the present perfect uses the past participle verbs. And this is the second main difference. Well, the first difference will be the use of time expressions. The simple past uses time expressions, but the present perfect doesn't. And the second more important difference I consider is that in the simple past, the verbs use the simple past form, but in the present perfect, they use the past participle form. These forms will depend on the kind of verb. Remember, we have two groups of verbs, regular and irregular. Regular verbs follow the same pattern for simple past and past participle, which is ed ending, like worked and worked. But the irregular verbs follow a totally different pattern for the endings in the simple past and the past participle. In some cases, they are exactly the same, but they cannot be considered regulars because even though they have the same ending, it is not the ed end. For example, we have cut, we have wrote, written, thought, or forsaken. The structures are as follows. This is just a quick reminder of the structures of the present perfect and the simple past. Again, the present perfect subject, have, has, verb in past participle, object. Simple past, subject, verb in the simple past, object, and time expression. Remember that in the simple past, the time expression can be placed either at the beginning or the end of the sentence, but this will depend on other factors. Remember, this is just a quick review. Now let's continue with this. Whoa. Sorry, oh yes, I'm sorry. There were some technical issues. So here we have some examples. I have been to Jalapa many times. In fact, I went there with my wife last Easter. Have you ever tried sushi? Yes, I have. Actually, I ate sushi last Saturday. Hannah has written poems. As a matter of fact, she wrote one 2 weeks ago. The examples are very simple. Let me explain you a little bit more in detail. In the first example, we have a present perfect sentence. I have been to Jalapa many times. Have been many times, but I'm not telling exactly when. In fact, I went there with my wife last Easter. This is a simple past sentence. I have been to Jalapa many times, present perfect. I went there with my wife last Easter. This is simple past. So I am mentioning, or I'm saying that I have been to Jalapa many times. This is something that has happened in my life. This is a present perfect action. And I say I went there with my wife last Easter. It's a simple past action that happened last Easter, or Pascua, as we call it in Spanish. So if you notice, the certain elements have been highlighted, or they appear in bold. Have been, the auxiliary and the verb in the past participle. And then here we have went, which is the past participle of go. So I'm saying that I have been to Jalapa many times. This is something that has happened in my life. And I'm also saying when this action happened for the last time. I went there with my wife last Easter. So this would be considered the last time I performed the action of going to Jalapa. Okay? The word or the expression in fact, I think in Spanish is de hecho, serves the purpose of emphasizing when this action happened for the last time. Remember, in the present perfect we say that something has happened in our life, and then we use the expression in fact to emphasize when this action happened for the last time. So I have been to Jalapa many times. In fact, I went there with my wife last Easter. So I'm saying what has happened and when it happened for the last time. Look at the second example. In this case, we have a question. Have you ever tried sushi? Yes, I have. Actually, I ate sushi last Saturday. The word actually serves the same purpose as in fact. And if I'm not mistaken, they have the same meaning, de hecho. Don't get confused. Actually doesn't mean actualmente. It means de hecho. Have you ever tried sushi? Yes, I have. Actually, I ate sushi last Saturday. Again, I am responding or giving an answer to the question, have you ever tried sushi, which is in the present perfect. Yes, I have. That is a short answer for the present perfect. And then I say, actually, de hecho, I ate sushi last Saturday. This was the moment in which the action happened for the last time. I ate sushi last Saturday. Okay? Last example, Hannah has written poems. As a matter of fact, she wrote one 2 weeks ago. Again, I'm telling about something that Hannah has done or something that has happened in Hannah's life. And when was the last time this action happened? Hannah has written poems. As a matter of fact, she wrote one 2 weeks ago. As a matter of fact is quite a long expression and has the same meaning as in fact or actually, but this one is way more formal and is used in very formal writing notebooks. So this is the core idea of the present perfect versus the simple past. We make the contrast between the actions that have happened in our life or the things we have done and when we did them for the last time. So this is just a quick review on that. This is the quick relationship. It's not a big deal. You already know how to work with the simple past, and now you already know how to work with the present perfect. So as long as you keep the difference, there's not going to be any problem. Well, that's it for the video. This was the last video on the review series, remember. I really hope these videos were useful for you and help you reviewing the topics for the final exam. As I have said before, watch the videos. If you think they're good or they can be improved, because they can and they will be improved, don't worry. Whatever comment you have, please leave it on the Get community or maybe on YouTube if you're watching this video on YouTube, okay? Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. See you in class. Bye.